Hi guys. I'm glad that some of you guys are already here. Today I'm going to need a lot of involvement from you guys in regards to posting answers to questions today. So I'm going to briefly interview. I'm going to briefly introduce the two systems that you guys have been doing assignments for. So I'm going to go over the respiratory and circulatory system. And then after I do that, I'm going to follow up with some review questions. And so that is to help prepare you for your quiz that you will be taking on either Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to post it on Monday, but it's up to you which day that you take the quiz on. But the whole point of the YouTube live today is just to go over the two systems that I've been assigning you guys work for and to review you and hopefully prepare you for your quiz. Hi, Anthony. And then that's pretty much the plan. So when I'm going to be holding questions up to the camera, and if y'all will just post your answers in the comments, and then of course I'll go over the answer too. Today we're going to build behind me. Bob's going to actually get some organs today. So you can see it's kind of here. I'm going to move my computer over here for you guys while we're waiting for other people to join. Look, I gave Bob a hat, and I made his hat is made from elements from the periodic table. So not only does it say his name, but it also has elements from the periodic table because Bob is a science nerd like me. How's everybody doing? Y'all doing okay? We got Anthony, Brendan. Hi, Dahlia. If you say hi in the comment box, then I know who all has joined us. I can see how many people are watching, but I can't see your names. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Michael. Hi, Rolando. Hi, Brendan. I miss you guys. I'm ready to come back to work. I'm going crazy. I officially have cabin fever as of the end of last week. Hi, Mia. Hi, Priscilla. Oh, hi, Gage. I was wondering who that was because you aren't in the link under your student account. Hi, Jesus. All right, I'm going to shut the door to my room because I just realized my door's open in case my kids start making noise. So give me just a second. And then I'm going to wait about 1 more minute. Oh, no, it's okay, Gage. It doesn't bother me if you're logged in under your personal account. It's just that if it's not your name, then I don't know who it is. Hi, Clara and Jana. I hope that everybody's doing well and staying healthy, and hopefully we get to go back to normal life soon. Is anybody else going stir crazy? Anybody? Or is it just me? You guys are happy that you get to stay home and play video games all day, huh? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and hopefully some more people will join us soon. So the first system I'm going to start with is the respiratory system, and all my papers are on the floor over here, kind of in order that I'm going over stuff. So just like last time when my face pops out of the video and then pops back in, it's because I'm picking stuff up, okay? We are going to start with the respiratory system. And so every system, our essential question is the same. The only thing that changes is the system. So the question is, what is the name or what is the main function of the respiratory system? And what are the structures? So what is the main function and what are the main organs? That is our essential question. So hopefully you had a chance to watch the screencastify that I went over the circulatory and respiratory system so that you have a kind of a basic understanding. So our respiratory system, the main function of our respiratory system is to bring oxygen into the body. But in order to do that, that oxygen has to come from the atmosphere and into our blood. And so in the video, that's what I was trying, their screencastify I was trying to teach you guys is how does that oxygen go from the atmosphere into our blood? So I have some notes that I'm gonna read over here if y'all will just listen for a second. Your body needs oxygen from the air to stay alive. Air comes in through where does your air come in through first? Screencastify, I told you there's 2 ways that air can come in. So if someone wants to post in the comments, and then I'll give Bob his first respiratory system organ. Where does the oxygen or the air come in through? Your nasal and your oral. Good. Your nose and your mouth. Very good. Your nose and your mouth. And so we call that your nasal cavity and your oral cavity. So I have cavities right here. This looks weird because it is the cavities cut out and laid side by side. So we're going to give that to Bob because right now he is just bones. So now Bob has a way to get in air into his body. Now, when you breathe in, you are getting other gases into your body, but your respiratory system is strictly going to take the oxygen from that air that you breathe in. So after the air comes in through your nose and your mouth, it travels down past your pharynx and your larynx, which I went over in the screencastify. So if you haven't watched that, go back and make sure you watch that today. So it goes from your nasal or oral cavity, and then it goes past your larynx and pharynx. And then in that video, I pointed to this organ right here. And I explained to you how that organ is held open, why that organ is held open. What is this organ called? It starts with a T. And Bob needs this organ. What is this organ called? Starts with a T. Hi, Elijah. Hi, Riley. All right, Brendan, give me the answer. I see you on there texting. So after it goes past your nasal and your oral cavity, it goes past your pharynx, which is your throat, your larynx, which is your voice box. Now we're in a structure that is found here. If you put your finger here, you can feel that organ. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Very good. It is your trachea. Good job, Mia. Here we have a trachea. Now, these little rings, those are rings of cartilage. That is what keeps your trachea opened like a straw. If you didn't have those rings of cartilage in your trachea, then your trachea wouldn't stay open, and it would be a lot harder to force air down your trachea. So Bob now has a trachea. All right, where are we next? Once the air travels through your trachea, then it goes through the tubes inside your lungs. The big tubes are called, what are the big tubes called? They're going to branch off into the right and left side because you have lungs on the right side and the left side. The right and left side. What are those first 2 branches called? I have them in my hand. Starts with a B. Bronchi. Very good, Jesus. Bronchi. So after the air goes down the trachea, it's going to go to the right and left bronchi. Now, you can't see it because it's behind the lungs, but behind the lungs, there's smaller and smaller branches coming off of the bronchi, and those are called bronchioles. Those are called bronchioles. The big tubes called bronchi. We have a right and left one. And then the narrow tubes called bronchioles. At the end of the bronchioles are those little grape-looking structures, and they are called alveoli. This is where the actual gas exchange is going to occur. So once the oxygen goes from the nose or the mouth, past the pharynx, through the larynx, down your trachea, going to your right and left bronchi, and then to your bronchioles, which are the little tree branches coming off of the big bronchi, then it's going to make it to the end of your respiratory system, which is the alveoli. That is where the gas is going to exchange. So I want y'all to type in the comments what gas exchange happens, what gas goes into the blood, and what gas is going to come out of the blood when it gets to the alveoli. Y'all go ahead and type that answer while I give Bob here his lungs. So what gas exchange is happening in the alveoli? What is getting put into the blood? Good. Oxygen is being put into the blood. Very good. Gage and Jesus. Good. Carbon dioxide is going to be removed. So now we went through the inhale process. And so oxygen's now in my blood and carbon dioxide is being removed. So carbon dioxide was put into the alveoli while oxygen was taken out. So now the carbon dioxide is going to go the reverse direction. So it's going to go alveoli, bronchioles, bronchi, trachea, larynx, pharynx, and then out through your nose or your mouth. So that's the exhale. All right. That means that we covered structure and function of the respiratory system. A series of organs which take in oxygen when we inhale and remove carbon dioxide when we exhale. The primary organ is the lungs that carries out the exchange of gases as we breathe. Additional organs are the nasal and oral cavity, the pharynx, the larynx, the epiglottis, the trachea, the bronchi, the bronchioles, and the alveoli. There is an organ that protects your lungs. There is an organ that protects your lungs that I taught you guys about during the skeletal system unit. So while I put this up on my makeshift board, since we're not in the classroom, what organ from the skeletal system protects your lungs? What organ from the skeletal system protects your lungs? Good. So rib cage, your ribs, very good. Here we go. Our ribs and our sternum protect our lungs. The ribs protect your lungs. The lungs are a spongy, air-filled organ on both sides of your chest. So you have lungs on the right and left side. When you breathe in, your ribs move out. So when you take a breath in, my ribs are expanding. Okay. When you breathe out, your ribs move in. This happens with the help of two rows of muscles attached to your rib cage. There is also a big domed sheet of muscle under your lungs. There's a big domed sheet muscle that goes underneath your lungs. What is that muscle called? It was one of the last organs that I talked about in the Screencastify video. This is that organ that if you take an elbow to, it knocks the breath out of you. If someone's ever bumped you with their elbow or in your gut, what is that organ called? What is that organ called? This is the organ that is forcing the lung into your lungs, forcing the air into your lungs and forcing the air out of your lungs. What is that organ called? It's a dome-shaped muscle, and it starts with a D. Starts with a D. The name of the organ starts with a D. Who's got the answer? All right, y'all make sure you're keeping your comments in the chat box on topic. It's like being in the classroom. Dome. It's a dome-shaped muscle. What's the scientific name? This is a hard one. This is a more, yes, very good, Rylan. It is the diaphragm. This is what pulls the air into your lungs. When your diaphragm moves down, it causes air to come into your lungs. When your diaphragm moves up, it pushes air out. So inhale, diaphragm down, exhale, diaphragm comes up. So Bob needs a diaphragm so that he can breathe. He's slowly coming to life. Bob is slowly coming to life. So there is a big domed sheet of muscle under your lungs called a diaphragm. Your diaphragm contracts and flattens when you inhale. This creates a vacuum effect that pulls air into your lungs. When you exhale, your diaphragm relaxes and the air is pushed out of your lungs. Now we are going to do the questions for the respiratory system. They are multiple choice. So I just want you to type in your answer choice, A, B, C, or D. First question. Here, I'll do one at a time. Which is not a part of the respiratory system? Which is not a part of the respiratory system? A, alveoli, B, lungs, C, trachea, D, esophagus. Yes, Michael, you have a diaphragm muscle that is similar to a vacuum in your system. Good. D, esophagus. The esophagus is part of your digestive system, which is a system I have not taught you guys about, but that is to come at a later date. So your alveoli are the tiny little air sacs at the end of your bronchioles. That is where the gas exchange happens. Your lungs are the air-filled sacs, and then your trachea is that ring of cartilage that is found right here. Next question. The respiratory system works directly with the blank system to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide in the lungs. And here's a hint. This is the next system that I'm going to go over. The respiratory system works directly with which system? Does it work directly with the muscles, the endocrine, the circulatory, or the digestive? And I went over this in the screencastify. Very good, guys. Yes, C, it works directly with the circulatory system. Because once the oxygen is put into your blood, we now need the heart to pump it throughout your body. How do plants benefit from humans' respiration? This is a challenging question. How do plants benefit from us breathing? How do plants benefit from us breathing? A, plants need oxygen to survive. B, plants need water to survive. C, plants need carbon dioxide to survive. Or D, plants need nitrogen to survive. So this is tying in something I've previously taught you and the new information that you've learned this week. Very good. It is C. They need carbon dioxide. Remember, carbon dioxide is a reactant in the process of photosynthesis. So when we exhale and the air comes out, the plants take in that carbon dioxide and they use it along with water and sunlight to make glucose and oxygen. Last respiratory system question. How does the diaphragm aid in breathing? How does the diaphragm aid in breathing? When the diaphragm contracts, the lungs expand and allow the oxygen to enter. When the diaphragm relaxes, the lungs expand and allow the oxygen to enter. Or C, the diaphragm does not work with the respiratory system. A, B, or C? How does the diaphragm aid in breathing? I do not see a correct answer yet. All right, Anthony and Michael, y'all make sure y'all are staying on topic. No spamming. Good, Priscilla. B. Remember, when the diaphragm relaxes, it's going down. So when it goes down, it pulls air into your lungs. Okay, so we have now gone over the structures and the function of the respiratory system. I'm going to put that up here. I'm going to go over the circulatory system. New essential question. What is the main function of the circulatory system, and what are the main organs associated with this system? So your heart is a muscular organ that pumps blood with oxygen. We just got done talking about how that oxygen gets into the blood, but it also is pumping nutrients to the rest of the body. Your heart has two sides that pump at the same time. It has a left and right side. How many chambers are there in your heart total? How many chambers are in your heart total? This was in the Screencastify. How many chambers are there found in your heart? So you have two sides. You have your right and left side. Very good, Jesus and Priscilla. There's 4 chambers. Your right and left atrium and your right and left ventricle. That's 4 total. And I showed y'all an image of that in the Screencastify. So your heart has 2 sides that pump blood at the same time. One side pumps blood into the arteries and to the organs, and the other side pumps blood to your lungs. Blood that has delivered its nutrients and oxygens and needs eventually comes back to the heart through veins. So once blood leaves the artery in your heart and it delivers all the oxygen and the nutrients and the good stuff to the tissue in your body, it eventually comes back to the heart with the waste where it's pumped to your lungs to get rid of that. Your heart pumps all day and all night to circulate blood around your body. It takes just under 1 minute, less than 1 minute for your blood to make a full round trip. So in 1 minute, your blood makes a full trip around your entire body. If you are running fast, this happens even quicker. So the faster you're moving, the faster that your blood travels, makes a full trip around your body. If we were to take all the blood vessels in your body, which are part of your circulatory system, and the Screencastify, I went over those 3 blood vessels, which I'm going to talk about in a second. If we were to take all of those and we were to stretch them out, they would spread out 60,000 miles. So if I were to take all the blood vessels from your body and I were to lay them out in a straight line, that is how many blood vessels you have in your body. 60,000 miles is the distance that those blood vessels would cover. All right, which leads to my first 3 organs that are part of the respiratory system. Blood vessels. In the video, I went over 3 types of blood vessels. Somebody list 1, and that'll be the first one that I go over. 3 types of blood vessels. So these are 3 organs that are found in your body. All right, who's Deathstroke 061? Reveal yourself. Okay, there's 3 types of blood vessels I talked about in the video. Very good. Thank you, Stephanie. Artery. I have an artery right here. Artery is one of the types of blood vessels that are found in your body. Arteries carry oxygen-rich blood, and nutrients. So when this blood is pumped through your body, the blood that's in your arteries, it has all the stuff that your body needs. So it's making a delivery. These are your deliveries. We'll put these over here. All right, I have 2 left. I have 2 left. What are the other 2 types of blood vessels? Anybody? Do I need to have? Oh, there we go. Thank you, Aiden. We have veins. Here's my vein. Veins carry waste. They have the blood that's flowing through veins is full of waste. So your arteries, they take the good stuff, and after they drop off the good stuff, they go across our 3rd type of blood vessel that I'm going to talk about in a second, and then it gets dumped into your veins. Once it gets dumped into your veins, it is full of waste. It dropped off the good stuff, and then it picked up the bad stuff that is left over, and it gets put in here where it's pumped back to your heart, and then your heart pumps it to your lungs, which I posted a YouTube video in my notes for you guys to watch about the path of blood exactly. And it would take a long time during this YouTube live to go over this in a lot of detail, but just you need to know that the arteries behind me, Those have the oxygen-rich blood and nutrients, and the veins are full of carbon dioxide and waste. What connects arteries and veins? What connects arteries and veins? That is our third. Thank you, Dahlia. Capillaries. So in between your, sorry, I had it upside down. In between your arteries and veins, you have capillaries. So as the oxygen and the nutrients are dropped off in the capillary, then the waste is picked up and dumped into your veins. Okay, so I'm going to keep reading along this paper. Blood that has delivered its nutrients and oxygens and needs moves back to your heart through the veins and enters the other side of the heart. That side is going to pump the blood to the lungs to get oxygen. Once the oxygen is picked up and the carbon dioxide is dropped off in your lungs, the blood then returns to the other side of the heart where it is pumped to the rest of the body. Therefore, we now need the most important organ that makes up the circulatory system, the main organ. That is your heart. Your heart. So now Bob has a heart, guys. He has a heart. And if you notice, I am putting it in the anatomically correct position. It is on the left center of your heart. And the screencastify I went over, that is why we take our right hand and we place it over the left side of our chest. We're placing it over our heart. Your heart is about the size of your fist. So if you make a fist, that's about the average size of your heart. But it's not directly in the center. It is on the left center. So I put Bob's heart on the left center. I'm also going to place next to Bob the entire circulatory system put together. In this picture, we have the heart, we have the veins, we have the arteries, and we have the capillaries. What I want you to notice in this model is the gas exchange that's occurring in the lungs. So you can see that the veins that are delivering the carbon dioxide to the lungs, when they pick up the oxygen, the blood goes back into the heart to be pushed through the body so that your body can get the nutrients that it needs. All right. Now, we are almost done with circulatory system, and I'm going to do just review questions. We have now covered our essential question. The circulatory system, this system, the function is to deliver oxygen and nutrients to all the cells in the body. It is able to deliver these nutrients because it pumps. As the heart pumps blood to the lungs, it can drop off carbon dioxide to be removed. And then when the oxygen-rich blood flows back into the heart, then the heart contracts again to push that oxygen and nutrient-rich blood to all the tissue in your body. The main organ is the heart, which is the pump, and then the blood vessels, which are arteries, veins, and capillaries. So all we have left is the review questions, which are going to help you guys prepare for your quiz. Hint, hint. So those of you that are attending this live, two things. Number one, you're not going to have to go back and watch it. And at the end of this, I am going to give a code word. And just so you know, when I edit this video before I post it into Google Classroom, that code word isn't going to be there. So those of you that actually are attending this session, I'm going to give you a code word at the end. So don't log out until I tell you the code word. And then what you'll do in the Google form is you're going to type the code word. Those who didn't attend, they're not going to know the code word. So they actually are going to have questions that they have to answer. So it's to get you guys more involved. So those of you that actually came to my live today, you get rewarded by, guess what? You participated, you watched. And so all you have to do is type a code word and you get 100. Everyone else, they got to answer questions. Okay. Question 1. Which is not a part of the circulatory system? A, heart, B, veins, C, arteries, or D, brain? Which is not a part of the circulatory system? So yes, thank you for showing some excitement because you guys are getting 100 for attending this live session. Very good. D, the brain. The brain, which is a very cool, very complex body system, which I will be teaching you guys about soon. Number 2, which describes the purpose of the circulatory system, which describes the purpose of the circulatory system: to supply oxygen and nutrients to the body via blood vessels, to remove digestive waste, to control all the movement within the body, or to remove liquid waste as urine. Which describes the purpose of the circulatory system? A, B, C, or D? Very good. A. It supplies oxygen and nutrients to the body via the blood vessels. Question number 3. Blank travel away from the heart and carry oxygen-rich blood to the body. Which carries oxygen-rich blood away from the heart and to the body? Is it arteries, veins, bones, or nerves? Oxygen and nutrient-rich blood. Good, Elijah. A, arteries. Arteries carry oxygen-rich and nutrient-rich. Veins carry waste. Question number 4. I'm going to adjust my camera here a little bit. Okay. The circulatory system works directly with the blank system to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body. A, excretory. B, endocrine. C, respiratory. D, nervous system. Which system does the circulatory system work with to exchange carbon dioxide and oxygen? Very good. C, respiratory system. Bonus question. What are the 2 things that happen as the blood passes through the lungs? What are the 2 things that happen as the blood passes through the lungs? Anybody? Anybody? Yes, Michael, we are live. Oh, I know somebody. Yes, thank you. Oxygen and carbon dioxide. Thank you, Brendan, for that fabulous answer. Oxygen is put into the blood and carbon dioxide is taken out. That is what is being exchanged. Now, we're going to review the systems that we have. I've already taught you. So those are the 2 new ones. Now I'm going to go over and review you guys on the systems that I introduced to you over the last 2 weeks. Which is not a part of deltoid or liver? Brendan, stop putting random letters on there, dude. Seriously. Okay. Which is not a part of your muscular system? Here's a hint. This is a trick question. Yes. I love that Kevin put E, and I hope you put E because it's none of the above. These are all part of the muscular system. The heart muscle, cardiac muscle, the bicep muscle, skeletal muscle, the deltoid skeletal muscle, The liver is smooth muscle. So these are all part of your muscular system. So let me review, since a lot of you guys didn't catch my little trick there, okay? Your heart is a muscle. It is cardiac muscle. It is only found in your heart. Next type, smooth muscle. So your digestive organs, your liver, your kidney, your pancreas, those are all smooth muscles. So technically they're part of your muscular system. And then lastly, the one that everybody knew before I even taught about the skeletal system is skeletal muscle. And these are the muscles that move your bones. Hey, y'all be nice. Don't be making mean comments in the comment box. Have some self-control, people. Be nice. Answers. I want answers and questions in the comment box, not all this silliness. Skeletal muscle. This is the muscle that you guys are the most familiar with. This is what moves your bones, okay? But don't forget about your smooth muscles, your diaphragm, your lungs, and your cardiac muscle. Those are all part of the muscular system. It's not just the muscles that move your bones. Next question, which of these activities is not related to the muscular system? A, the secretion of hormones from glands. B, the mechanical grinding of the stomach as it digests food. C, running up a hill. D, lifting a heavy box onto the table. Which of these is not related to the muscular system? A, B, C, or D? With all that typing, I better see some letters being typed in there. A, B, C, or D? Which is not related to an activity of the muscular system? We got one answer. It is not D. When I lift a box, I'm using my skeletal muscle. Good. A. It is A. Hormones being secreted. That is the endocrine system's job, which we haven't done that system yet. Cardiac and smooth muscle types are involuntary. Skeletal muscle types are, this was the main thing that I covered in my YouTube live about muscles. Cardiac and smooth are involuntary. Skeletal is, what is skeletal? Is it A, B? Thank you, Elijah. It's B, it's voluntary. Remember, involuntary, no control. Voluntary means I control it. I control moving my bones. Those are my skeletal muscles. I can't control my heart. It's involuntary. I can't control my liver. It's involuntary. The only muscle that is voluntary is your skeletal muscle. The other two are classified as involuntary, your smooth and your cardiac. So with that being said, what controls the involuntary cardiac and smooth muscle? What controls the cardiac and smooth muscle? What controls your heart beating? It's an organ. It's a real, thank you, Stephanie. The brain, your brain controls your involuntary muscles without you having to think about it. That's how big brains you are, okay? That's how big brains you are. We are almost done with our review questions. The muscular system works directly with the blank system to allow the body to move. The muscular system works directly with the blank system to allow the body to move. A, skeletal, B, endocrine, C, circulatory, or D, digestive. A, B, C, or D? Yes. Excellent. Thank you, Stephanie. Once again, great answer. It's the skeletal system. This is why I taught the skeletal and the muscular system together, because muscles move bones. So without bones, there's no movement. And without muscles, your bones just would be there in a pile. Last system to review, and this is the very first system I introduced, which is the integumentary system, which is the scientific name for your skin. So after we're done with these next set of questions, then the YouTube Live is over, and I am going to post the code word, and class will be dismissed. The outer thinner layer of the skin, what is the name of that layer? Is it A, dermis, B, fat layer, C, epidermis, or D, follicle? This is the layer that you can touch. This is the layer you can touch. A, dermis, B, fat layer, C, epidermis, or D, follicle layer. Very good. It's C. Very good. Epidermis. Epidermis is your outermost layer. It's the layer you can touch. It's the layer that schluffs off and causes those layers of dust in your house. The deeper, thicker layer of the skin is called the deeper, thicker layer of the skin. What is it called? A, dermis, B, fat layer, C, epidermis, or D, follicle layer? Epidermis is your outermost layer, so we know we can eliminate that answer. Good, Mia. It's B. Your deepest layer is your fatty layer. It's also called your subcutaneous layer. That is your bottommost layer of your skin, and that is where your layer of fat is. And remember, I told you guys that fat is good because it helps cushion and protect your organs. All right. 2 questions and then we're done. Which of the following is a function of the skin? Which of the following is a function of the skin? A, skin bends out part of your body. B, skin straightens out part of your body. C, skin helps get rid of your waste. D, both A and B. Which of the following is actually a function of your integumentary system, also known as your skin? A, B, C, or D? Good, C. The answer is C. Good, Stephanie. It helps the body get rid of waste. When we sweat, it rids our body of waste. And even if we don't feel a sweaty layer on our skin, we are constantly losing waste through our skin. Last question. And I've taught you guys about this word 2 times. What is a pathogen? What is a pathogen? A darkening chemical in the skin that determines skin color. B, something inside of an organism's body that causes it to react in some way. C, a barrier in the skin. Or D, anything that causes a disease in the human body. A, B, C, or D?